Cats are selective. This is one of the things that makes them so fascinating and, for some people, so frustrating. They do not distribute their affection evenly. They do not perform love on demand. They do not give everyone in the room the same level of attention, the same quality of contact, the same considered, deliberate social investment. And in households where a cat has clearly identified one person as their primary bond partner, their person, the difference between how they treat that person and how they treat everyone else is often so visible, so consistently expressed, that the people who are not the chosen one notice it immediately and cannot explain it. And the person who is chosen often does not fully appreciate what they are receiving. Because the behaviors your cat directs specifically and almost exclusively at the person they love most are not simply behaviors of preference. They are, in the language of feline behavioral biology, the most intimate, the most trust-intensive, and the most emotionally significant communications available to a cat. They require the highest levels of felt safety. They represent the deepest investment a cat makes in another being. And they are given selectively, not to the household, not to every person who has ever been kind to them, but to one person. Their person. Today, we are going through 8 of these behaviors. Some of them you will recognize immediately. Some of them you may have witnessed without understanding the weight of what was happening. All of them, once you understand what they require of a cat to produce, what they cost in terms of vulnerability and trust, will change the way you receive them. If your cat does these things with you, you should know what they mean. They mean something profound, and they are worth understanding. Of all the ways cats sleep, and they sleep in many configurations, in many locations, across every surface and every climate of your home, sleeping in actual physical contact with you is the most intimate and the most trust-intensive version available. Here is why. Sleep is the state of maximum vulnerability. In sleep, environmental monitoring is suspended. The capacity to respond to threat is reduced to its lowest. The nervous system is, temporarily, not available to do the thing it was built to do. This is a physiological reality that no amount of domestication has changed. A sleeping cat is genuinely exposed in a way they never are when awake. For this reason, cats are exquisitely selective about where they sleep and what or who they sleep against. The position of a sleeping cat is one of the most reliable available indicators of felt safety, and sleeping in contact with another being, pressing against them, resting their head on them, tucking into the curve of their body, requires not just comfort with that being's presence, but complete trust in their predictability, their gentleness, and their safety. A cat who sleeps touching you has made a calculation that is, in feline terms, extraordinarily significant. They have decided that their most vulnerable state is safe to inhabit in your presence, that your movements during the night are predictable enough to be non-threatening, that the warmth and scent of your body is not a risk but a comfort, that you are, in the deepest possible behavioral sense, their safe place. Research from the University of Lincoln on cat attachment has confirmed that cats with the strongest owner bonds show significantly higher rates of physical contact during sleeping compared to cats with weaker bonds. The sleeping contact is not incidental. It is the spatial expression of maximum trust, and it is directed toward the person the cat has identified as most worth trusting. We have talked about the slow blink in previous videos, the voluntary, deliberate closing of the eyes in another being's presence that communicates trust and safety in the clearest available feline language. But there is a specific version of this behavior that is reserved almost entirely for the most bonded person, and it is worth naming separately. The across-the-room slow blink. The one that happens when you are not even near your cat, when you are sitting at the other end of the sofa or across the kitchen or standing in a doorway. Your cat, in their chosen position, simply looks at you and blinks, slowly, deliberately, with a quality of soft, unhurried directness that is entirely unlike the sharp tracking gaze cats use for environmental monitoring. This is the blink that requires the most trust. Not because it is physically different from the blink a cat might direct at a familiar visitor, but because of what it communicates from a distance, without any other social context. There is no interaction happening. There is no physical contact imminent. There is nothing happening in the moment that requires social signaling. Your cat simply looked at you from across the room and chose to close their eyes. In feline social behavior, this is the equivalent of saying, in the middle of an ordinary moment, without any particular prompting, I see you, I feel safe, you matter to me. It is not a response to anything you did. It is a spontaneous, voluntary declaration, and it is directed toward you specifically because you are the person in the room toward whom this declaration is true. If your cat does this regularly, if you catch them looking at you from a distance and slow blinking in your direction, you are being told something. The right response is to blink back, slowly, and to understand that what just happened between you is one of the most genuine things a cat knows how to do.